What's up, Age of Mythology fans? It's FitzBro, and welcome to my beginner's guide for Age of Mythology Retold. Now, this is one of the very first games I played as a kid on the computer. Look at this. I've got my CD. Check out that bad boy. There we go. We got the original CD. Used to play this with discs. Look at that. It's crazy. But anyways, we're going to be walking you through as if maybe you've never played Age of Mythology before. I'll be taking you through what makes this game unique, how to move your resource bar around, how to get your villagers auto-queuing, and all that good jazz, and hopefully get you along the way to having fun with Age of Mythology. Now, if you're looking for some more experienced or advanced intermediate guides, there's going to be tons on the channel, so make sure you subscribe, as well as go over and check out aom.gg. I've been building this website where there will be tons of recordings uploaded. There's going to be a leaderboard, all that stuff. I'll get a link down in the description for that. Let's get into it. Now, you might be wondering, now, Fitz, your resources are different than where mine are when I start. That's because there's alternative settings for your UI. So let's start off just making sure you get that in the right spot. So if you go into the settings tab and go to UI, there's this option to enable alternative HUD layout. And this is how I got my resources in the bottom right. Now, maybe you like yours at the top, which is this new setting they have. You can turn that off, and now you've got them at the top of your screen. I'm going to leave them there for now, but I'm still honestly trying to decide which one I like the best. It's different from other Age of Mythology Empire games for sure. Let me know, sound off down below. Where do you want your resources to appear? Because it's been quite a topic for sure. So that's the first thing you want to know. Now, you might be wondering, there's some new way that you can auto-queue villagers, but it doesn't really tell you exactly how to do that. Well, if you hover over here, you'll see if you right-click on the villager, it will toggle on the auto-queue. Now, you've got to, of course, have the food to be able to produce those villagers. So I'm going to put my villagers out here on the elks, but basically if I hit right click, it will queue up a villager, and as soon as I have that food available, it will start training. Now, I ran out of food because of a setting that you should turn on. In your settings, you want to make sure you go into game and you scroll down to the bottom, scroll. There's an ability, where is it? Right here. Immediately auto queue villagers at the game start. Now, for some reason, you can't turn this on when you're in a game. You have to do it in the menu, but this makes it so the second you start, it trains your first villager. And that's going to be a huge thing for all the seconds at the beginning, getting your villager task, not wasting time, get that first villager queued up. Now, maybe you really want to micro a dwarf out with the Norse right away, and you don't want to turn that on. That's up to you. Or you want to, get arthritis and spam queue to the end of time queuing villagers. You can do it the old-fashioned way. But for me, turn that on at the start of the game. It'll start queuing your villagers for you. Now, we got our villagers auto-queuing, we got our villagers gathering food. Let's talk about some of these resources around your town center. So you might be wondering, now what do I get? I start and you've got a hunt of some sort. It's either an elk or hippos or whatever it might be, some kind of huntable. You've got the chickens in your base. You've got berries, and then you've got cows or goats or whatever it have you as far as herdables. And the rule of thumb is going to be, we can look at this. He's actually stealing my animals. Thank you very much, the AI. Let's go give him a piece of, well, we know. Your best gather rate is going to be with the huntables, okay? And how can you figure this out? Well, I'm going to put a villager over here tasked on the berry bushes, and I'll get them queued up here. And if you click on the villagers, you can actually see the gather rates, which is quite nice. So I can see here, I'm getting 0.8 food per second here from the berries, compared to on the deer right now, I am getting, let's click on one of these, we're getting 1 per second, okay? So that's gonna be faster than 0.8. So at the beginning of the game, you wanna be as efficient as possible, so take the huntable food at the very start, and you're going to save your berries, your chickens, your herds for later on. And of course, there's upgrades for those available at your granary, but we don't need to go into that right now. So to age up to the second age, you're going to need to gather, I'll show you here, 400 food and click up at your town center. So we're going to get 400 food, but not only that, you need to build a temple to the gods. Okay, so I'm going to click on a villager and show you what that's going to cost. I need 150 wood and 150 gold in order to build my temple. Now, that is going to be different depending on the civilization I'm playing. Take the Egyptians, for example. Their temple only costs gold. So that's going to be a little bit different. So something to keep in mind. So I'll start gathering for my temple. So at the start of the game, no matter what civ you're playing, your goal is to get that 400 food, to get a temple online and get some kind of scouting going on the map. Now, you can turn your scout on here to auto scout. Where is the ability? Right here. You hit Q. He'll run around the map and scout. If you don't want to micro him, you can do that. Now, it's not going to be the most efficient, right? Because it's better probably to go towards the middle, run out, try to find some of those huntables, those hurtables on the map. But you can turn on auto scout. We've got that for now. And that's one option you can decide you want to explore. Now, as you pick up cows and sheep out on the map, if you click on your town center, there's a nifty button right here, send the livestock to this location. And this will take any herdable that is under your control, and they will start walking back towards the town center. So you don't have to run around and click the sheep, send them back, click the sheep, send them back, click the sheep, send them back. You just go here, click that button, and it will grab your herdables, such as the cows that were stolen by the AI for me. Now, gathering very inefficiently here. That's just because I'm trying to, explain all these things as we go. Now, the one thing I did build there as I was talking was a house. You're going to hit population space. So each house that you build is going to support an additional 10 population. That costs wood to build, and then that allows you to get more pop. So you got to keep an eye on it. It gives you a little warning, which is kind of nice and retold that, hey, you're going to get pop capped is what they call that. So you need to consider building your house. We now have enough resources to build a temple, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. I'm going to put my temple down right there. These villagers are out of food, so I'll go put them on, we'll go to chickens for now. Typically, I'd go probably to the next hunt. It kind of depends on the build I'm playing. If I'm trying to play really defensive, I might stay in my base. Kind of depends what you want to do. Okay, so we got food, wood, gold, and favor is going to be the other resource for Age of Mythology. You might be wondering, what do I do with favor? How do I get it? How do I use it? Each civilization gathers this differently. For the Greeks, they do it by praying at their temple, and you're very much gathering favor with your villagers. So these guys are sitting here, they are gathering 0.11 favor per second. And that favor can be spent on some unique technologies. So some of those will be available later on. You can see one right here. This is just for hero hit points, but it's going to be different. All kinds of unique techs you get. Typically, they'll cost favor. And most importantly, you'll be using them for training your heroes as well as your myth units, which is the most fun in Age of Mythology. And in Retold, you can really bank up favor, and you can use your god powers multiple times. So they start costing favor after you cast them the first time, which is really cool. So we kind of talk about a lot of stuff in this first age. Let's go to Age Up and see what we got available. So when you go to Age Up in Age of Mythology, you're always going to get two options to choose from. I'm sure they'll change this with some civilization, let's be honest. And with these civs, you've got choices to make. The first one's going to be is, what god power do you want? You see here, I get Ceasefire. If I go with Hermes, I get Restoration of Athena. And those are castables that you get at the top of the screen. You get one per age. You're going to choose what myth unit you're going to want. So I can get a Minotaur if I go here. I could get a Centaur if I go the other side. And then you've got unique technologies. So for here, I'm going to get a bunch of techs that are going to make my hoplites better, really going to buff my infantry up. Where over here, I'm going to get some buffs for my cavalry. So depending on your playstyle and depending on the matchup, maybe you want to pick a different route. But consider that because these are unique as you age up. For now, I'm going to go up with, we'll go up with Hermes so I can get the Centaur, which is a really fun myth unit to have. And that age up will start going along. Now we talked about auto queue of villagers, but you can also do something called pre-queue. And I don't know if I can show you this right here. Let's see if I can get this to work. I don't know if I can pre-queue stuff from the next age. I can't. So you can actually queue up techs that once you have the resources available, that it will start getting that tech or start training that unit, which is a very cool way you can control your queue in your buildings. Okay, so we've got this going on, going pretty good. We got our favor, we got our food, wood, gold. We're heading up to the second age. Now, when you get to the second age, this is when you're going to start considering building up an army. Maybe you want to go fight the opponent, or maybe you want to try to go for a fast heroic. Save up for the third age. Those are kind of some things you want to consider. Do you want to go for a second settlement, go for a second town center expansion? Those are some decisions you'll have to make. But during this transition period, usually what you want to be doing is training up one of your heroes. Now, I talked through it, so I missed it, but I would train up Heracles. And actually for the Greeks, you can train villagers and heroes at the same time, or even while you're aging up, you can train heroes at the town center, which is pretty cool. But what you're going to want to be doing is gathering relics on the map. Now, relics, unlike Age of Empires 4, they don't just passively give you gold or something like that. Relics in Age of Mythology have different abilities. For example, let's go check this one out. If I get this relic, it's going to provide me a small trickle favor, 0.05 favor trickle. So I grab that relic and I put it in my temple. I'm going to shift click that over there. And there's a number of cool benefits, whether they're tech bonuses, eco bonuses, military buffs. There's a wide range of different relics available out on the map. There's those cows. I'm going to go back to my town center and show you this. I'm going to hit that. Now the cows will just start walking back. So you're going to grab those relics, get them back. Usually during that transition, you're kind of racing to grab a few of the relics. But it's up to you if you want to spend your time, how much you value those relics. Sometimes there's better ones than others. That's up for you to decide. Now that I'm in the next age, Greeks, they've got a pretty standard roster. You're looking at an archer range, a barracks, and a stable. So obviously you get archers, you get infantry, and you get horses, right? Is going to be your options there. And we'll have another video where we talk about all the counter systems, go in depth with that. But just to know, those are going to be your options there. And then at the temple, this is where you can spend some of that favor. You can train up your centaur. It's going to cost you some favor, of course. And you can get that and go out there and start raiding the opponent right away. And now, right now, I've got military auto queue turned on, which is a setting you can have in your custom or single player lobbies. Also, sometimes have it in ranked. It's really complicated to explain, but just know that there is some military auto queues sometimes, and you can do that by right-clicking as well if you want to have everything to be auto-queued. Certainly, generally on ladder, that's not going to be your default. I think it's going to be turned off a lot of times, but just know it is an option that exists. Now, with the Greeks, their towers, they don't upgrade automatically. With the Egyptians, they get instantly upgraded towers in the second age that can shoot. So you'll have to decide if you want to invest in those upgrades for your towers to shoot, to get some more line of sight and some other great upgrades that'll come along with it. But that's a decision that you can make depending on your play style and how your resources are looking. Now, we've got some units going on here. I'll shove, we've got some wood going there. That's going fine. Let's talk about the settlement expansions. So in Age of Mythology, you can build on these settlements. Okay, so they're out here on the map and they're neutral. And while, of course, you get more villager productions, good to get more resources, right? In AOM, that's going to provide you with a higher pop cap. So that means if you control more map and more settlements than your opponent, you will in fact have a higher population cap. And that's going to be really, really useful when it comes to the late game and winning and being able to have more units out on the field. I'm going to send these guys out for a raid. We'll see what they're able to find. See if we can balance out our eco a little bit as we've been chit-chatting here. Now, one setting I have turned off, which you might want if you're a beginner. Let's make sure we don't forget about it. There is something called villager priority. So it's right here. I have it turned off because it gets in the way, and maybe that's what you want as well. If you don't want to use the VPS system, it shows up here and you might accidentally click it. You can toggle this off. Another thing you have to do, and from the main menu. But this is something that you can use to auto balance your whole economy out, which can be really nice, especially if you're playing on an Xbox. You're going to want that villager priority set ready to go. Okay, so we'll keep this going here. Let's go see if we can get a little raid going on here on Hades, what he is up to. And we'll use our god power. We're going to bolt something. Now, typically you want to use this for something later in the game, maybe a stronger myth unit you want to bolt down. Oh boy, here we go. So I'm going to, there. Boom! Zeus unleashes his wrath. There we go. We got some pain going on. We took out that Minotaur. Now you can see with 65 favor, I can cast it again. So that's something that I can decide I want to get later on in the games, bank up my favor, and I can use that. Okay? Okay, so we've got some relics going on. We've got our economy going. You know, theoretically, you'd be getting a few of these going. You could be thinking about going to the next age. Now, if you want to go up to the heroic age, you're going to have to build either a market or an armory. You don't have to build, like, a lot of times you have to build, like, just armory or just a market. You can build both. Or one or the other. You can pick and choose, right? And that'll allow you to advance up to the third age. You'll get another slew of god powers, etc., etc. Always go with the Manticore. It's so good. It's so good. But with that, once you start to run out of food, now in Retold, you're gonna notice there's more food on the map than there is in OG Age of Mythology or even AoE 4. There's a lot of deer, there's a lot of berries, depending on the map. So if you get some map control and have some military protection, you can move out and stay on these natural resources. And later on, when you run out of food, you'll want to transition to farms. And you can build those around your town center or your granary. You want to be close to the drop-off points. And that'll sustain your food into the later stages of the game. Once the gold starts to run out of the map, you're going to want to build a market. And then I'll just build a market so I can show you. With your market, you can trade to your settlements. Okay, you don't trade to other markets, you trade to settlements. So if I had a town center built here on this settlement, I would take this market, probably build it over in this corner, and I'll tell it to task to that settlement. And these donkeys will walk to the market and they will generate they will bring gold into my bank as it goes. But with that, I think we covered a lot of the basics. Oh, this button right here. You can zoom your map. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Check that out. But I don't want to go too in depth. I want to keep it simple for now. I'm going to have a ton more guides with in-depth strategies, build orders, all of that stuff you're looking for. So keep an eye on that. You can join my Discord down below. I've got channels for the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Norse, Atlanteans. You can come chat about those. And I hope you guys enjoyed this intro to Age of Mythology Retold. Let me know what type of videos you'd be interested in, what's going to help you as you get started with the game. I've got a lot of experiences in RTSs. I've been playing Age of Empires my whole life. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys out there on the ladder.